Hello, and welcome to Getting Started with Wko5. This is Chapter 4, New Metrics and Features. The lessons of this chapter are 1. Multiple sport thresholds, 2. Training peaks metrics, 3. Dynamic functional reserve capacity, 4. Training intensity score, and 5. Smart segments. Let's start with multiple sport thresholds. Multiple sport thresholds. Wko5 allows you to enter and manage multiple sport type thresholds in one convenient location. Once the thresholds are set, multi-sport charts and reports can recognize each sport's unique threshold setting to provide accurate calculation of metrics. So let's face it, right now we have, over the last couple of years in particular, we've seen more and more devices capturing more and more sport type specific. Let's use power as an example. We've had power on our bicycles for a while, but over the last couple of years, you've seen the emergence of running with power and swimming with power, and now we're seeing rowing with power, and more sports are moving into power. Whether it's a direct force measurement or an estimated power, it's still trackable data. The reality becomes we need multiple thresholds or FTPs to be able to be set utilizing power. Same with heart rate. We're doing a better and better job of correcting heart rate in all different types of sport types. So we need the ability to set those thresholds, whether it's power, heart rate, or other, and then the ability to calculate data specifically off that threshold. Pretty simple process in Wko5. Simply click on the rider's name to access the rider details. Open the metrics, and in the metrics you'll find, like I have bike threshold power selected, which is showing over here in this right hand box, but you could scroll to the list. Here you see run threshold power, you also see run maximum heart rate, run threshold heart rate, so all kinds of options. Just select, and you can add or delete threshold settings by the plus or minus, and just click on the date or the power in this case, and you can edit directly from there. Very simple process of maintaining multiple thresholds. Let's move on to the idea of training peaks metrics. Training Peaks has long valued the importance of tracking not only athletes' training data, but also surrounding metrics like sleep, stress, weight, and much more. WKO uses the metrics tracked in Training Peaks to unlock more tools and data than ever before to develop a full understanding of their effects on an athlete's readiness to train. So here we have the metrics, and there's more available on the screen. You can customize your Training Peaks, but you see examples of what metrics can be collected in Training Peaks like sleep, stress, mood, fatigue, HRV, urine color. Track that information. Anything that's tracked in Training Peaks metrics becomes available in Wko5 for analytics. In the guides, we'll get into how to use those analytics, but just know that data is important. So if you want to understand the relationship between your sleep, your stress feelings, your HRV, and that day's average power output, you can do those type of analytics, blending subjective data along with the hard data of workouts and exercises. 3. Dynamic functional reserve capacity, or DFRC. DFRC is the real-time measurement of FRC utilization and performance. Simply put, it's how much we drained and restored the battery during a workout or race. This measurement is in kilojoules or joules as it represents energy utilized. Functional reserve capacity in Wko5 language is very similar to W, or anaerobic work capacity. And it really is measuring your ability to sustain an effort over threshold. And dynamic FRC allows us to go back and do analytics of workouts and races and stuff like that, and to be able to look how deep the athlete went. In this chart sample, you see the yellow is their power output. The purple line is tracking their DFRC through a series of intervals. You can see they burned off some energy, they recovered some, they burned off some energy, they recovered some, they burned off, and down here towards the end they're getting pretty close to empty. Gives us some good insight whether it's racing or intervals. You can learn more about this by clicking on the link in the presentation. Lesson 4, Training Intensity Score, or TIS. Training impact score. I'm sorry, I said intensity score before. Training impact score is what I meant. TIS uses your power data and your unique power duration model to estimate the anaerobic and aerobic system's impact of the applied training load of a workout, which provides deeper insight into how the workout will strain each system. Your TIS is based on a specific impact of the workout on your unique physiology, meaning it's unique to you what you can do. If 5 athletes do the same workout, they'll each get unique scores. Now, they're probably going to be pretty similar to some degree, but it really depends on how that athlete makes energy. Also note, all energy systems contribute to endurance exercise efforts, but to fine-tune your training of your unique physiology, it's important to build a deeper and a more specific understanding of the impact strain on each system during exercise. Basically, it's a simple way of taking a workout and applying an anaerobic score and aerobic score. And you can look at both and just understand, how did that strain my system? And if you think about it, stress plus strain equals adaptation. So the more strain that system goes under, well, the correct amount of strain, and when done right, you don't want too much, the better it will adapt over time given an appropriate amount of rest. Training impact score simply looks like this. Here's a little visual of it. You see our DFRC we were talking about down here. And this particular workout of the athlete, the anaerobic score was an 8 and the aerobic score was a 4. And you can see they were doing some harder efforts with some over-under. And that's basically the strain on those two energy systems. Next, we have smart segments. Smart segments are a new introduction, and it basically is a specific GPS track with a defined starting point, route, and ending point. A segment can be thought of as a specific stretch of road or trail, typically featuring a specific element such as a climb, a descent, or a fast section, for which the segment time, speed, and VAM can be tracked and compared. Well, most of us know segments through the idea of Strava and the targeting of KOMs and QOMs. This, I guess, is similar but not connected or related. Basically, what you have here is the ability to create a segment anywhere, and I'm using an example here. So this is an example of Flagstaff, and Ben Multisport has been climbing Flagstaff a fair amount of times. So he created Flagstaff Short. By selecting segments here in the hero bar, we have the ability to see different segments. Now, once I select Ben's Flag Short 10-minute target, you'll notice the list over here has a bunch of KPI information and listings. And if you look at the dates, they're different dates. So the reality is what it's doing, it's ranking Ben's climbs on Flagstaff. It's ranking them by, in this case, fastest. You can also rank them by power. Now, a very cool trick in Wko5 is if you hold down your command button on Mac or your control button on PC, you can select multiple ranges, and you can see what it's doing here in the data. It's comparing them. It's a little easier to see in this report. So we see their time, the IF, the power they output. This one was a good bit faster than the other one at the same power, eh? Tailwind, maybe? You never know. And then you can compare information here. Again, just simply select Command or Control, hold it down, and you can select multiple segments. Oh, I should have done the animations before. Sorry about that. This completes this chapter.